Hi guys, let's talk about something really interesting today that in the dating world, many people they ended up ignoring this very important part when they consider many of the relationship advices, dating tips. And you see, we often have this idea that we can make anyone fall in love, we can make anyone commit, and it's only about how we present ourselves, how we carry ourselves. However, even if you might be really a great woman that is really attractive, magnetic, etc., there is this very important aspect that many people keep ignoring. And this is really not helpful. And it makes women too fixated then on certain men that are not even really aligned for relationships, for serious relationships to begin with. And what I'm talking about is how many of us is often ignoring the fact that in front of us, this man is a human being with his complexities, with all his complex nature and life circumstances, and many things in his life and internally within him. His beliefs, his life experiences, his childhood traumas, and his principles, his guiding principles in his life, plus his life circumstances, like his higher purpose. Does he have a purpose? How is his career? Is his life stable, or he's traveling and living in different countries? All of this, it's important for us women to take into account to understand where is this man really situated in his life, as well in his guiding principles and what he desires and want in the moment that you met him. All of this needs to be taken into consideration to understand if a man is really ready for commitment or not. Because you see, many men, it's not that, if they wanted to, they would, and etc. Because I can tell you that there are so many factors that can influence it. That even if a man really likes you and maybe he's really in love with you and etc., there might be a lot of challenges that he might have to go through internally and externally to actually have the commitment that you desire. And many men, they might actually in a certain place in their lives, and internally and externally, that they might not really be able to do that, to overcome these challenges, because he doesn't really have the capacity to do that. Okay, so for example, there are many men who their lives are not stable, who they don't have their career path, their jobs, their financial situation even figured out, and they are in this phase of life where they're really dealing with a lot of things happening in their lives. And they might feel so overwhelmed that they cannot really have more on their plate, even if they like you a lot. And that, for example, having also certain insecurities, certain fears. Why many people fear of commitment? I can tell you, for example, many people they fear commitment because they grew up in childhood situations, environments where they saw, for example, their parents having a bad marriage. Maybe their parents argued a lot. Maybe their fathers cheated on their mothers. Maybe they were abused even. And they grew up having this idea that, marriage might be bad, and if I grow up and get myself into a bad situation, then I'm basically dooming myself. There are just so many dynamics and, nuances to each people that when we try to simply assume that, I can make them commit by following XYZ steps, then we are really taking away this complexity. And because we are not really looking at reality the way it is, then even if we try so much, we might not really achieve the results that we want. So what is really important here often, and what I learned from my own experiences and from learning, researching, etc., is that during the vetting process, for example, let's say that you want to meet different people through dating apps or in real life. First, it's important to understand where is this man and what are his beliefs. For example, is he in a stable life situation or is he traveling around, living in different parts of the world? Does he have a stable career trajectory? For example, he might have a stable job, but what if he actually is in the process of wanting to find something else and something else entirely different, changing their careers, maybe starting his own business, etc., etc. And does he have a stable living situation? Or is he actually just living from place to place with roommates, with housemates, etc., etc.? And then what does he currently desire? Because many people, they seek out connections because humans, they are wired to desire, to need human connections. So even if people, they are not always ready to have a sustainable, real relationship, they are often compelled to seek out relationships, even if it's casual, even if they don't really know what they want, they deep down, they desire connection. So when you also try to understand it, okay, what is it that he really wants? What is his relationship history until now, until recently? Like, and what is his belief? What is his attitude towards, relationship, women in general? Did he like have relationships where he was respectful, even if he was into something casual? Even if he had a casual relationship, was he respectful? Or was he the kind of man who was just playing the field? And now he seems to want to change and etc. And also, what are his guiding principles in life? And this is actually a big thing because I can tell you that I've been with men who had strong principles, meaning that they were honest people, that they wouldn't get themselves in situations with women where they would lie to another woman about what they want to get them into bed. And you see, when a man has a strong principle, he would be honest with you, and you can expect the level of trust and honesty that you don't need to, decode his behavior, decode if you can trust him, if he's safe, etc., etc. I'll give you an example that one of my ex-partners, he was a very spiritual man, and he was a Vipassana meditator. And for those who don't know what Vipassana meditation is a way of meditation in which you look inward of what is happening inside. However, there are it's not just about the meditation, it's about principles of how you live life, of being more aware what's going on inside and having some guiding principles like being honest. Like honesty is really important because the more dishonest you are, the more it actually gets in the way of you doing this meditation inner work. And that man, of course, I could trust him and I could feel it also intuitively that I could trust him because he would never really lie about his intentions. And he was really honest, and not being honest would be really against his, spiritual principles. And we like to, think that women, we can make anyone fall in love as long as we are able to figure out how to do that. But we have to understand that relationships are about co-creation. It is not just about how we are doing things and then the impact and the influence is just one way. Like in front of us, there is this complex beautiful soul, beautiful human being with their own nuances and what they want, what they need, also their own blockages. So even if you are a really great woman, even man, like he has wobbly principles. He is used to lying, cheating, and he's used to be dishonest and getting women through means of dishonesty. And he might have blockages of being able to have genuine intimacy because of his guardedness. Let's say maybe he got hurt in a past relationship where he really poured his heart, but then he got played or hurt or anything, and then he closed his heart. Now you cannot really, we can be compassionate with humans, with other humans, but we cannot make them our project to fix them. We have to respect them, respect where they are from. So we can be there, we can show kindness and all, but we cannot make it like, oh, then I can fix him. This is my project now, haha. And try to, influence him to do the right thing. Because, you can create a safe emotional space for him to step out, to feel that he can gradually step out. But if he's not really ready, by you staying there, even if you're not happy with it, you are actually just enabling their behavior, enabling their pattern. And then they don't really have the reason to change, to improve, because you're still there. And then when you finally had enough and you're fed up by the lack of emotional availability and even commitment, maybe after even months, years, and you finally walk away. And then he would realize, okay, now I need to actually do the inner work, do the growth, learn, and not hurt another human being. So we cannot really, as much as we have compassion and understanding, we cannot also be enabling someone, and it wouldn't make a relationship sustainable. So it's really important for women to understand that we cannot really make anyone fall in love, make anyone commit. And we really, when we go to the dating scene, when we are receptive to meeting men and dating, really look at where they are right now financially, in terms of stability in life, in terms of what they are desiring to build in life, and if they actually have the intention to have something more with any woman. Because if they don't, it's very hard and very rare for a man to actually, even if he comes to love a woman a lot, it can be very hard for him to actually step up. And of course, there can be men who does that. However, it also depends on, does he feel so much overwhelmed with life already that many men, when they are not in this space where they are ready, they like, it is really hard for them. It's like, killing this dragon for the sake of the princess. And they have to conquer this dragon, but the dragon is too big for his level. Maybe he's at level 20, but killing the dragon requires him to level up to level 50. And he simply doesn't have this capacity, mental, emotional, physical capacity, because in his life he already has to figure out, okay, where do I really want to go in my life? What is my purpose in life? What is my career? Like, so many people nowadays, they don't have stable career, and they move from job to job, from country to country. They are trying to figure out a business by themselves. They're trying to figure out things by themselves. And we all like to idealize, oh, how a man, if he loves you, then he would really change for you, which can happen. And many men, if they already have a strong guiding principle in their lives, and they have this inner strength to already be ready to, okay, I can try my best to face these challenges. But many men, they are so caught up also in their feelings, in their traumas of, oh, I'm just not enough, I'm not capable. And this is a huge wound for men. So they are caught in this, oh, I'm not really that capable, I cannot be the man for her, etc., etc. So it's not really, if he wanted to, he could. And I think that many men, they deserve understanding. And of course, by understanding also not meaning that, okay, let's enable them and let's stay in a situationship for a long time, etc., etc. But actually acknowledging that, okay, maybe he is already trying his best. And as much as he is in love with me, as much as he loves me, he is actually not in this space and capacity to do so. And of course, I can stay longer and longer in this relationship, but it also wouldn't honor my needs and desires. And if I stay, my insecurities, my lack of safety, I would eventually feel bitter and I would eventually resent the situation, then I'm sabotaging the relationship as well. So maybe I can let him go and I can also honor that I need something else that he cannot give me. Then maybe another man is more aligned with me. So, really, when you are in the dating scene, try to also understand where this man is right now in his life. What are his intentions? Does he have this real intentional feeling about having something serious with the right woman that he finds? Or is he really just casual, just exploring, and is not really in the heart space to have a genuine, real connection, nor the capacity to make it sustainable for building a life together. And I also look at his guiding principles, like what is his character? Is he an honest person? Is he honorable? Will he respect women generally and humans generally? And all this can already tell a lot if you can really trust him and invest more of your time or not. So, if you are interested in learning more about dating and how to navigate the dating scene and avoid avoidant men, I have this mini course called Unforgettable Woman: The Art of Magnetic Dating, in which I talk a lot about how to vet men, how to position yourself out there, for example, in dating apps, and you will learn a lot from how to vet men and choose the right man to meet and go out on dates so that you align more with the healthy masculine man who knows what they want and who knows how to go after what they want. And also when it's the dating time, how to navigate through a dating night and how to carry yourself, how to position yourself in an embodied way. Yeah, check out this mini course because it will be really interesting and it will really end your single life era soon. And if you want to go deeper, I also have the Share Stream Go course in which I talk a lot about feminine embodiment, how to bring your unique different flavors of your feminine energy to intoxicate a man, and how to, play with the masculine feminine polarity attraction, how to bring more juiciness in your dating life and relationships. So, my name is Monica and I am the teacher of Blooming Feminine Academy. Welcome to my channel, and I hope that this content can really help you improve your dating life and relationships.